stay with you. If I'm choosing wrong, I don't care at all. If I'm losing now, but I'm winning late, that's all I want. I don't care at all. Hello and welcome to Ukulele on Fire, the YouTube channel for clawhammer ukulele, but today there is no clawhammering. Today I want to teach you the title song from the Netflix series Money Heist or CASA de Papel, which is quite famous. Maybe you want to play it. It's an interesting song, some interesting picking, some interesting strumming, so give it a try. Down in the description you find a PDF file with lyrics, chords, strumming pattern, picking pattern. Maybe you want to print it. It might help you working through this tutorial here. If you have basic questions about playing the uke, like right hand technique, fretting and things like that, I would suggest just click up here. This is a playlist with all the episodes from my series Ukulele Basics. Maybe it helps beginners to get into that tutorial here a little bit more easily. The original key of that song is B minor, which I found a little bit complicated to do on the uke, so I just transposed it down to A minor. So if you want to play it in the original key, you must use a capodaster and put it in fret number 2, and then you can play the original key. The video consists of 4 parts. In part number 1, I show you the picking pattern that you need for the first half of the song. This is quite interesting, but a little bit complicated. In part number 2, I show you the chords that you need for the chorus. In part number 3, I show you the strumming pattern, which is very interesting. And in part number 4, we put everything together and we sing the complete piece. All right, let's get started. First of all, I want to have a look at the fingerstyle intro. I want you to get it into your ears, so please listen. I'll play it to you one time. I hope you recognized it. For this intro, we need 4 chords, which are quite common: A minor, E minor, D major, and D minor. The problem is that A minor is used in a different fingering. Just look here, please. You take your first finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Then you put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string and the middle finger, the 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And this is the A minor chord that we need. You might have noticed that I didn't pluck the 4th string. The reason is that we don't need it in the finger picking later on in the fingerstyle intro. So just strings 1, 2, and 3. This is our E minor fingering or voicing. Let's go on to E minor. This is the common E minor shape. First finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, middle finger here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and the ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And this is A minor. As I already told you, we need string number 4. Just strings 3, 2, and 1. In order to get the transition between A minor and E minor easily, I would suggest the following trick. Just go to the A minor, please, like that. And then before you shift, you just lift middle and ring finger. The first finger stays at its place and just shifts up here without leaving the string. Okay? It just does this movement. The other fingers, as I told you, they just leave the fretboard a little bit, and the first finger shifts, and then they get down on their new frets. So you have very, very little motion in your hand. Watch again, please. This is A minor. Then we lift middle and ring finger. You can hardly see it because they are quite close to the strings. We shift the first finger and then we put them down again. Maybe you should practice that transition a little bit. The next chord we need is D major, but it's very easy to finger because we don't need string number 4. You just put the second finger here on the second fret of the third string and the ring finger on the second fret of the second string, and this is D major. And the last chord that we need for the intro is D minor. This is easy to do because we just take the index finger, put it on the first fret of the second string, and then we'll lift the ring finger and the middle finger stays where it is. So the transition is very easy. We have D major, the index finger is ready here on the first fret, and we just lift the ring finger. You see, it's very easy to do. So I would suggest just practice that chord sequence a little bit. A minor, E minor, D major, D minor. Before we have a closer look at the fingerstyle pattern now, a short remark. If you click up here, you can watch a tutorial about fingerstyle basics. So it's an episode from my series Ukulele Basics, and I explain in detail and very slowly how fingerstyle ukulele works. So if you're not very experienced with fingerstyle, maybe you have a look up there, might be worth it. Okay, so what we do now is we just finger the same chords that we had all the time now. E minor, A minor, D major, D minor. And the right hand only uses fingers 1, 2, and 3, index, middle, and ring finger. And they are responsible for one string each. The first finger is responsible for string number 3, the middle finger for string number 2, and the ring finger is responsible for string number 1. The thumb just rests on string 4. This helps the other fingers to have a controlled motion. Okay, so as I already told you, the left hand is doing the same sequence over and over again. A minor, E minor, D major, D minor. And now we have a look at the fingerstyle pattern. We start with the middle finger only. Just look down here. We only use the middle finger for plucking the strings, and if you do the chords in the right sequence, you get that melody. So only the middle finger, and the left hand does the same thing all over again. E minor, D major, D minor, and again only the middle finger. A minor, E minor, D major, D minor. So if you have the right chords in the left hand, the middle finger will automatically play the right note. Now we go on to what the index finger does. The pattern is down here, so please try to play what I do. That's it. Middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, E minor, middle, index. D major, D minor. Okay, again, A minor, E minor, D major, D minor. If you can play that easily and at a reasonable speed, the ring finger gets involved. Just have a look at the tabs down there. We start doing the A minor chord and we pluck strings 1 and 2 at the same time using middle and ring finger. So, and the rest of the bar is almost the same like we had it before. So, and now something happens. The last note of the first bar is already part of the E minor chord. So here you must shift down with your index finger and play the first string on fret number 2. So again, we start with the A minor chord. The first 2 notes are played by middle and ring finger at the same time. So you shift towards the E minor shape right before bar 2 starts. Okay? So I play it to you one more time, very slowly. Shift. And then you put down the rest of all the E minor fingers. And then the same thing happens at the end of bar 2. We play with the ring finger the first note of the D major chord, which is the open first string. And then in bar number 3, you finger these 2 strings. And the rest is easy. So again. So the 2 problems in that fingerstyle pattern are at the end of bar number 1 and bar number 2. You must be a little bit fast in your hands and shift the chord before the next bar starts. So again. The rest is easy. I think you must practice that a little bit before we try to sing it. Take your time, start slowly, and when you feel safe, sing along and play along with me. If I stay with you, if I'm choosing wrong, I don't care at all. If I'm losing now, but I'm winning late, that's all I want. I don't care at all. So, now that the fingerstyle intro is clear to everyone, let's have a look at the chords that we need for the chorus. They are quite simple. The first one is D major, which you can do like that. First finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, second finger, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and ring finger, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and this is D major. A lot of people have difficulties just pressing all these fingers behind one fret, so you can use alternatives. A very common one is just having the index finger here and doing a bar chord like that. You must press down strings 4, 3, 2, and you leave the first string open. So you must lift it away a little bit. I find this one a little hard to do, so my personal favorite is this one. I just press down strings 4 and 3 in the second fret with my first finger, and then I use the middle finger for the second fret of the second string, and this is D major. Just decide which one suits you best. The next chord that we need is quite easy. It's F major, middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and the first finger, the index finger, on the first fret of the second string, and this is F major. And after that we need A minor, and the transition between F major and A minor is really very easy. You just leave the middle finger right where it is, don't move it, just take away the first finger, and then we have A minor. So the transition between F major and A minor can be done very easily if you just let the middle finger where it is all the time. Then we need a chord which is a little bit more special. You have the middle finger here on the second fret of the fourth string. Then we take the index finger and put it on the first fret of the second string, and this is F major. What we need is an F6 chord. So what we do is we take the ring finger and put it down here on the second fret of the third string, and then we add the pinky on the third fret of the first string, and this is F6. Maybe you know the chord D minor. This is very similar. You just have middle finger here, ring finger here on the second fret of the third string, and first finger here on the first fret of the second string. Then you take D minor and you add the pinky on the third fret of the first string, and this is F6. And the last chord that we need is G6, middle finger on the second fret of the third string and ring finger on the second fret of the first string, and this is G6. Alright, these chords are not very difficult, so let's have a look at the strumming pattern. This is a little bit more interesting. So let's have a look at the strumming pattern. You can see the strumming pattern down here. You might be a little bit surprised by that arrow that is a little bit strange. Just ignore it, okay? If you ignore that arrow, you have a very simple, very common strumming pattern. Let's take A minor, and it sounds like that. So down, down, up, down, up. Very common, very easy. Let's have it slowly. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. This is common. What makes that strumming pattern interesting is the arrow. This arrow is supposed to indicate a technique called rasguedo. It's a technique taken from Spanish guitar, and it sounds like that. So you just use these four fingers here, you don't need the thumb, and you make that motion like a fan opening, and you hit the strings with each of these four fingers in a very fast row. So dring, pinky, ring, middle, index, in a fast movement like that. It's called rasguedo, and it's very typical of that classical Spanish guitar. Maybe you know phrases like that. It's that movement. You must practice that slowly. Maybe you take your left hand and you just try to brush with these fingers. And you must hear 4. And if you can do that, you can transfer the motion to the strings. Don't be too hard. Don't hit the strings too hard. It might hurt your fingers. So just make it soft, make a round movement. Just think of that fan opening, and then you have it. And if you can do that, we look at the strumming pattern again. So now it sounds like that. Okay, it's the same like, only the second downstroke is a rasguedo. If that is too hard for you, if you just don't get the rasguedo into your fingers, skip it. You can play it without that. It sounds perfect. Just that little kick is missing then. Okay? So try to practice it, and if you can do it, let's sing it together. If I stay with you, if I'm choosing wrong, I don't care at all. If I'm losing now, but I'm winning late, that's all I want. I don't care at all. I am lost. I don't care at all. Lost my time, my life is going on. I think it's an interesting song, some interesting picking, some unusual strumming, so it's definitely worth giving it a try. If you want to play more nice ukulele songs, just click up here. This is the playlist with all the episodes from my series Ukulele the Easy Way, and one of these tutorials is about the song Bella Ciao, and this is interesting for us because it's quite important in the Netflix series Money Heist, so maybe just click here and you can learn the song Bella Ciao. Okay, if you enjoyed that video, leave a like down there. Maybe you can subscribe to my channel, and yes, see you on YouTube. If I stay with you, if I'm choosing wrong, I don't care at all. If I'm losing